All right, Math A, here we go. We got lesson 4-3. We're going to do a second day of reflections. And what we're going to do today is reflect over lines that are not the X or the Y axis. Okay, so describe the line y equals 2. Now, if you're thinking back to y equals mx plus b, m would be our slope, and I don't see an x here. So this means the slope is 0. And it means the y-intercept is -2. So if I see y equals -2, that means the slope is 0 and the y-intercept is -2. So remember, a slope is 0 means it has 0 steepness. It means it's a horizontal line. So this would be a horizontal line with a y-intercept of 2, a -2. So it would be -2. It'd cross the x-axis, but it'd be a y-axis. It would cross at -2 on the y-axis. It would never cross the x-axis. So it's just going to go side to side. Now, something we probably haven't seen is the line x equals 3. X equals 3 is actually a vertical line. So it's the opposite of y equals -2 in that it is going to be a vertical line this time. And instead of going through the y-axis, this one's going to go through the x-axis at 3. So this is going to have an x-intercept of 3. So this is going to be a vertical line, and it's going to go through the x-axis at 3. So we're going to be reflecting over lines like this instead of the x or the y-axis. All right, so here we go. Number 1, triangle QRS, and we want to reflect it over the line y equals 1. Okay, y equals, so this is going to be a horizontal line. So y equals 1, I'm just going to make a dotted line here for y equals 1. There's my dotted line. That is my line of reflection. So remember, when we reflect, we just keep the same distance to the line of reflection. So S is not going to move. It's going to stay there because it's on the line of reflection. So S prime is on top of that one. R is 1, 2, 3 units away. So it's going to go 1, 2, 3 units away over here. This is where the new R prime is. Q is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units away. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units away over here. And there's my new location of Q prime. So basically, we're just using our imagination. And we're going to just pretend like this is the x-axis. So same kind of thing that we were doing on the last section. There's my new shape. It looks beautiful. Is this a congruent triangle? Yes, because we did a reflection, and reflections are rigid motions. So that is going to be the same. All right, now we're going to reflect QRS over the line x equals -3 this time. So x equals, that's going to be a vertical line. And this vertical line is going to go through the x-axis here at -3. So we are going to reflect over this line here. So Q is 2 units away from that line. So we got a vertical line going through -3 on the x-axis, x-intercept there. So we go 1, 2, 1, 2. There's Q prime prime. R is 1, 2, 3. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. There's R prime prime. S is 1, 2 units away. So we're going to go 1, 2 units away over here. There's S prime prime. New shape. After our translation or our transformation of a reflection, we've got 3 triangles here. We've got the black triangle that was the original one. We've got this teal one here, and we've got the orange one here. So the question becomes, are these triangles congruent? Yes, They're congruent. How do you know? Because we reflected them, and reflections are rigid motions. Remember that phrase, rigid motions? That means it makes congruent shapes. Congruent shapes have the same measurements, they're just in different locations. So the black, the teal, and the orange triangles, they're the same shape, they're just in a different location, which makes them congruent to each other. All right, we're already down to number 4. We are flying. So on number 4, we've got segment AB, and we are going to go over the line x equals -1. So x, remember that's a vertical line going through -1 on the x-axis. So here we've got a vertical line. There's our line of reflection. A is 3 units away, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3 units away over here. There's A prime. B is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units away. So B prime is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's going to be off the graph, but we're just going to pretend like it keeps going. So there would be B prime. There we go. Next one. Name the triangle and then reflect over the line y equals -2. Okay, so if it says name the triangle, it just means make your own letters that you want to use. So use whatever letters that are really speaking to you right here. I'm going to use win, because we are winning at math right now. W-I-N. Okay, there's my triangle. I'm going to reflect over y equals -2. Y equals -2 is a horizontal line going through -2 on the y-axis. There we go. So there is my line of reflection. I is 1 unit away, so I'm going to go 1 unit away over here. I prime. W is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units away. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units away over here. There's W prime. N is 1, 2, 3 units away. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 units away over here. There is N prime. And we have just reflected over y equals -2. Now it's kind of confusing a little bit when we look at these ones. Like you see y equals -2, so a lot of people think, oh, y-axis. But y equals -2 is more like the x-axis. It's parallel to the x-axis. And over here, x equals -1, and people think, oh, I'm going to reflect over something like the x-axis. But we're not. X equals -1 is actually more like the y-axis. The y-axis equation is actually x equals 0. So the y-axis is x equals 0. So x equals -1, yeah, now it looks more like the y-axis. The x-axis is actually y equals 0. So if we have y equals -2, see that's 2 below y equals 0, which is the x-axis. A little bit confusing. I don't know why they didn't like that. All right, last one. We're going to describe the transformation. All right, we know 2 types of transformations. We know translations and we know reflections. So for this one, this is my original, AB, my pre-image. This is my image, A prime, B prime. Does that look like a reflection? Nay, it does not. It looks like it's a translation where we're going left 2 and up 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's a translation. Left 2, because both of them go left 2 and up 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4. And up 4. All right, last one. Does this look like a translation? No, if it's a translation, they would be facing the same direction, so this must be a reflection. All right, so it's a reflection, but over which axis or over which line is it being reflected? It's definitely not being reflected over the y-axis because A would move over to here. So it looks like it's reflecting over the y-axis or the x-axis. Gosh, can't talk anymore. So A is 1 unit away, A prime is 1 unit away. So yeah, we are reflecting over the x-axis. All right, there you go. That's your second notes on reflections. Next up, rotations. See you next time. Bye-bye.